is also a heroic volunteer firefighter.
All right, here's Premier Doug Ford speaking in Mississauga
Grant
alongside
County, so
Labour
thank you
Minister
both
and the
for
Solicitor
great
General.
service.
Let's go to the announcement right now.
I also want to acknowledge Mississauga Mayor Bonnie Crombie, and thank you for having us here, Mayor. It's always great to be in Mississauga, and I hope you had a great Mother's Day along with all the other mums over the weekend. And Peel Chair Nando Ian Naka. And a big welcome to Greg Horton. Thank you for all the work that you do from the Ontario Professional Firefighters Association, and Rob Grimwood from the Ontario Association of Fire Chiefs, and all the brave women and men in uniform joining us today. Friends, in every single community across the province, our firefighters are on the front lines each and every day saving lives. They're often the first responders to emergencies, and as they say, they're the ones who rush in when others are rushing out. They are true heroes, and I want everyone in this room, or outside I should say, to know that our government appreciates your service. Thank you for all that you do to keep our communities and our people safe. Friends, our government is dedicated to enhancing firefighter safety and modernizing training programs right across our province. And what a training facility they have here. It's absolutely spectacular. Last year, we launched our firefighter certification program to make sure that training standards are meeting and beating industry best practices. We've also made investments to expand access to local fire training, including new online courses and regional training units so firefighters can get the training they need closer to home. And today, as part of our Skills Development Fund, we're pleased to announce $700,000 in new funding to support innovative training projects designed for both professional and volunteer firefighters. This funding includes training programs to help small and rural services be better prepared for the dangerous situations they face in-ground rescue and wildfire situations. And we know wildfires they happen every single year, and we just want to thank the firefighters for helping out there. It includes new courses in automobile extraction, boating, and water safety, and elevator rescue. Here in Mississauga, the new funding will support 30 firefighters for training and certification in the International Association of Firefighters Fire Ground Survival Program. This program provides firefighters with safety and survival training for dangerous situations that can occur on the job, such as becoming lost, trapped, or injured. And because we know being on the front line poses risks of dangerous situations, the funding includes interactive peer support, training for suicide awareness and prevention, and crisis intervention. Together, these new training programs will upskill our volunteer and professional firefighters, equip them with the tools and resources to do their jobs more effectively. Will help departments with recruitment and retention challenges and help keep our communities and our people safe. Friends, we always support our fire departments and our firefighters. In addition to expanding firefighter training, we're supporting local fire services in the north and helping municipalities pay for fire services provided on Crown land. Last year, we announced $208 million in funding to support the transition to Next Generation 911. Once fully implemented, the new system will make it easier for public to provide additional details about emergency situations, such as video from the scene of an accident when requesting immediate help from police, fire, or EMS services. It will also give emergency operators the ability to identify locations using GPS, resulting in a safer, faster, and more informed emergency response, including from our brave firefighters. And just as people rely on our first responders, our government wants to make sure our heroes are taken care of when they need support. That's why in our 2023 budget, we announced an additional $9.6 million for the Runnymede Healthcare Center's First Responders Wellness and Rehabilitation Center to provide mental health support and PTSI treatment, tailor-made for the unique needs of our firefighters and other frontline workers. And another serious issue facing firefighter community is the high rates, as the minister mentioned, but I'm going to repeat the message, is the high rates of thyroid and pancreatic cancers among firefighters. So earlier this year, as the minister mentioned, our government expanded WSIB eligibility for firefighters battling these diseases retroactive to 1960. These changes will apply to any firefighter, whether they are or were full-time, volunteer, part-time, or employed by First Nations band councils. Friends, yeah, that's a good one. Friends, we will always stand shoulder to shoulder with our fire departments and our heroes on the front line. We're giving them the tools they need to recruit, retain professional and volunteer firefighters, and the resources and training they need to protect our communities safely and effectively. We will always have their backs. Thank you for everyone joining us today, and again, thank you, Mayor Crombie, for hosting this, and may God bless our firefighters, and may God bless the people of Ontario. Thank you.
We'll now go to the floor for questions. If reporters could please line up at the microphone behind me. Please identify yourselves by name and outlet. And just a reminder, it's one question and one follow-up. First question.
Morning, Premier. Liam Casey with the Canadian Press.
Hi, Liam.
Just on Stellantis, they just told me this morning that construction has stopped immediately on the battery plant in Windsor. Just wondering if this worries you.
It really worries me. You know, we need the federal government to step up, as they did for Volkswagen. We have signed a deal with Stellantis months ago, quite some time ago actually, on infrastructure, and we gave them the exact same amount as we gave Volkswagen. And we need the federal government to come to the table and show their support like they have all along. They've been great partners, by the way, in every deal that we've made. So we need them to work with Stellantis, and I know the mayor, Mayor Dilkins, is quite concerned as well, and so am I.
On the deal, so did the province give $500 million like Volkswagen?
We gave the exact same amount, but also there's the roads, the off-ramps that we did. We brought in energy to be competitive with U.S. states. We'll go toe-to-toe with any state down in the United States. The only thing we can't do is go toe-to-toe with the U.S. federal government. That's the Canadian, the federal Canadian government's job, and they can do it, and we're confident that they made a promise to the people of Windsor. I was down there with the Prime Minister. Now they need to keep their promise to the people of Windsor.
Hi, Premier. Laura Stone,
Hi.
Globe and Mail.
Hi, Laura.
On that same issue, did you see this coming? Did you know that this was kind of building to the point where Stellantis was going to come out and say this, or was it a surprise to you?
Yeah, well, you know, throughout the whole period, we weren't involved in the federal deal. We made the provincial deal. We thought everything was good. They had the shovels on the ground. And then just recently, over the last little while, we were hearing about it and had an opportunity to speak to the finance minister. And, you know, this is any state in the U.S. doesn't jump in with the federal U.S. government. We had our deal. We never saw the deal on the federal government side. They need to come up and support Stellantis like they did with Volkswagen. And I got to give the federal government kudos. They have been there with us every step of the way on every single deal. They need to continue supporting the people of Windsor, which they promised they were going to do. But we want to work hand in hand with the feds on future deals as well.
So, Premier, when does this end, though? Is the province's expectation that every time a plant is going to open the province, the federal government has to give them $13 billion? Like, at what point is
you know, that's going to be up to the federal government, but we're competing against the IRA down in the U.S., supported by the federal U.S. government. We don't have the bandwidth to compete against the U.S. federal government. We don't have the printing press like the federal government does. They need to step up like they have, and they've been great partners. I've said this 3 times. They need to step up and commit to the promise they gave to the people of Windsor. It's as simple as that.
Hey, good morning, Premier. This is a question for both you and Mississauga Mayor Bonnie Crombie. So
Yes.
it seems like you've made up your mind when it comes to separating Peel Region and creating an independent Mississauga. I'm just wondering how this works with Mayor Crombie's plans. Mayor Crombie is considering running for Ontario Liberal leader. I just wanted to get your thoughts on Mayor Crombie running and how does that factor into your decision to separate? And to you, the mayor, does an independent Mississauga clear the way for you to run against the Premier?
Hey, you know something, I'll be very clear, and I've said this right from day one. Mayor Crombie's been a great partner in helping build Mississauga, no matter if it's a transit or other infrastructure projects. And well before I was even elected, I'd have conversations with Mayor Hazel. At the time, I've always been for an independent Mississauga. You can't have a city the size of Mississauga, close to 800,000 people, and it's continuing to grow, being tied into other jurisdictions. So we're going to continue supporting Mississauga. We have all the seats in Mississauga. My job, and I know it's the mayor's, to make sure that the people of Mississauga get the best services they have and continue to enhance the services.
And if the mayor wants to jump in,
Sure.
don't mind.
Yeah,
Sorry, Mayor.
that's all right.
I'm delighted that the Premier has publicly stated that he's on the way to separating Peel. It gives me great pleasure. I know he's fulfilling a promise to former Mayor Hazel McCallion and myself, and of course this makes great sense that we go our separate ways. It's more cost-effective. It allows us both to build great cities and do it and allow my taxpayers to invest their tax dollars back into our city rather than to support the growth of the other municipalities and continue to support their growth as they have for the past 50 years. So I look forward to this announcement, and I want to thank the Premier.
Perfect. Thank you very much. Premier, on the Greenbelt, you've been making a lot of comments lately that's led to a lot of concern about your plans for the Greenbelt. A lot of people are wondering if you're setting the stage to open up even more portions of the Greenbelt for development. Can you say today, do you plan to open up additional portions of the Greenbelt for housing or any other development?
What I will say, Colin, the Greenbelt is larger now than when I took office. And what we won't be doing, we won't be building on ponds and marshes and wetlands and so on and so forth. So we have a housing crisis. 445,000 people showed up to our province, the fastest growing region in North America. No one even comes close to Ontario, not Texas, not Florida, not anyone. And we need to make sure that we have homes. And the reason they're coming to Ontario is because with great partners like Mayor Bonnie Crombie and other mayors, we have created a climate and conditions for companies to come here and open up. They have endless Fortune 500 companies here in Mississauga and around Ontario, and the people are moving here because it's a quality of life. It's the economic backbone of Canada. That's the reason they're coming here. And it's critical, and I think all of us do it. Sure, sometimes politics gets in the way, but for the most part, 99% of the time, municipalities, the province, and the federal government work well together, and that's what people expect us to do. So we're going to continue working alongside with the federal government and municipalities, make this the greatest place, continue to make it the greatest place in the world to live and raise a family and start a business or find employment. And for those who need a job, there's 380,000 jobs available. I encourage you to make sure you go out and find gainful employment. There's jobs in every single sector.
Hi, Premier. Jack Howell.
As Premier Ford speaking outside a firefighter training facility.